You might look at this position and see that white is completely winning because white has two pawns trying to promote them and black cannot really stop them with only one rook. But it's not as easy as you think. There's one move actually here that wins the game. Only one move, other moves will lead to either a draw or losing the game on the spot. So one move could be like playing the move c7, trying to promote any of the pawns. That will be a blunder because black can go to the back rank and protect both of these promotion squares. Therefore, this move is excluded right away. Some of you might say, well, obviously we promote to a queen, and then we have to figure out a way to win the rook and then promote to a second queen and win the game. But this move is also a blunder. It, gives away the entire advantage. It's no longer winning. This is a draw. And the reason this move is a draw because black can play a check. Not a normal looking check like rook a1 because then we can just easily move away. No, black can play rook f4 check. And we either give up the queen and they will go back and take our pawn and win the game. So we have to actually take it. And the queen, as you can see, with the help of the king, we are stalemating the enemy king. Therefore, this is also not winning. So we cannot promote to a queen, but we have to promote this pawn. Otherwise, we will not be winning, as I showed you before with the line where they can go back and stop the promotion. So here we have to promote to a rook. So now there is no rook to f4 check because their king can still move. But this is not entirely winning. Why? It's not entirely winning because two rooks on the board, that will be a draw. The only reason it's not a draw yet is because of this pawn on c6. So we have to make use of it. Now here they can play three options. They can either play rook a7 trying to stop the pawn, rook c4 trying to get behind the pawn and take it, rook to a1 check. Now a move like, this one doesn't make any sense. They can just protect the pawn and push it. Like for example, like rook a7, you don't even have to protect the pawn. You can just get your king close, protect the pawn with the king, and then push the pawn and promote it. This is very easy, and this move is very passive, and it doesn't really attack the pawn. For example, rook c4 makes a little bit more sense because black is trying to win the pawn, but then we can easily play a defensive move and play rook to c8, protecting the pawn. Now here, for example, they might play something like king g3, and obviously here we push the pawn, and our goal is to give a check and then simply win the game after we promote. Here they can play this move, rook to a4, and what would you do here as white? Now here is very common, tactic. You just play a check and then promote in the next move because you want to gain a tempo. You want to attack the king with a check and then promote the next move so you don't, waste time with a move like this. So we play a check. They go king f3, and now if you said promoting to a queen, you lost the game because as you can see, black still has some traps. The king is controlling these squares and black will be able to play a check. We have to give up the queen and lose the game. So after we play the check and they go king to f3, we have to be careful and play this check first. It doesn't matter where they go next, and then and only then we promote to a queen, and this will be a winning position. So the things that you had to see before anything, you had to see that we have to promote to a rook, and that we have to be careful of the rook to a4. That seems very unclear what it does, but it actually leads to a very powerful attack or powerful threat of checkmate. And also there is this line after we promote to a rook, and instead of attacking the pawn or trying to stop it, they play rook a1 check. Now this move doesn't really help them in any way. We can just get the king close and defend the pawn, promote it, and win the game. Thank you for watching.